Week 8 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few pitchers I looked at this week off the wire. The first guy, Erick Fedde of the Chicago White Sox. It's been a surprising year here for Erick Fedde. After last season, he pitched overseas and now came back to the major leagues and got a decent deal with the White Sox. And this year, he's been one of the biggest surprises in the league. 52 innings, 4-0 record, 50 Ks, a 2.60 ERA, a 1.06 whip, and 4 quality starts. But the last couple weeks, 13 innings, 2-0 record, 9 Ks, no ERA, 0.69 whip, and 2 quality starts. So Fedde, he's going out there and he's pitching great baseball. And I know this White Sox team, one of the worst teams in the league, no doubt about it. But Fedde is still getting the job done and paying big dividends for this White Sox team with his next outing here tonight at the Blue Jays. So the last few outings, May 4th at St. Louis, 4 1/3, 4 hits, 5 runs, 5 walks, 2 Ks in that one. May 9th versus the Guardians, 6 innings, got the win, 6 hits, no runs, 3 Ks, a quality start. And May 14th versus the Nats, 7 innings, got the win, 3 hits, no runs, 6 Ks, a quality starts. I know the last 2 outings been great hitting teams he versed Erick Fedde, but he's going out there, he's buckling down, he's pitching good. I know this White Sox team's not going to give him a lot of run support or many wins this season, but in terms of ERA and quality starts, he can help right now, Fedde, and he's available in 52% of fantasy leagues. And the top pitcher, I believe, to add this week, the next pitcher, Reese Olson of the Detroit Tigers, another pitcher not getting the wins, but ERA and just pitching good baseball this season. He's been doing that, 47 1/3, 0-4 record, 41 Ks, a 2.09 ERA, 0.99 whip, and 4 quality starts. But the last couple weeks here for Olson, he's gone out there and really buckled down. 14 innings, 0-0 record, 10 Ks, and 0.64 ERA, 0.43 whip, and 2 quality starts. So Olson, he's been a top prospect in the system the last couple seasons. Came up last year, was middle of the pack for this Tiger team, but he's really getting things going, especially the last few outings. May 3rd at the Yankees, 5 innings in that one, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks. May 8th at the Guardians, 6 innings, no decision, a hit, a run, 2 walks, 4 Ks, a quality start. And May 14th versus the lonely Marlins, tough luck, no decision, 8 innings in that one, 3 hits, no runs, 6 Ks, a quality start. So his next outing today as well at the Kansas City Royals, where their hitting's been up and down this season, but I think he could go out there and attack, and he pitches in a good division in the AL Central, where we know there's not many good hitting teams. You got the Guardians, obviously, Chicago White Sox, Kansas City Royals, Minnesota Twins, where their hitting, I don't think, is great for those teams. And I think Reese Olson, once again, could go out there in tonight's outing and pitch a good one, and he's available right now, 59% of fantasy league. Next pitcher is Taj Bradley of the Tampa Bay Rays. So Bradley, a top prospect in the system over the last few seasons. Last year, he was up in the majors for a decent amount of the year, and he mightily struggled towards the back end of the season, was Taj Bradley, and he missed the first month of the year plus for this Tampa Bay Ray team. But now he's been back in the rotation the last couple times around on the season. 11 innings, 1-1 record, 2.45 ERA, a 1 whip, of quality starts, and 13 strikeouts. So he's available right now in 56% of fantasy leagues. Here's Taj Bradley. I think he's going to take the next step in his second season. And we know this Ray team, they always develop these younger pitchers for the most part. Guys coming out of nowhere or top prospects who pan out. And then obviously as the years go on, they can't afford to pay these guys and eventually trade them. But the last few games for Bradley, May 10th versus the Yankees, 6 innings, got the loss. 4 hits, a run, 2 walks, 7 Ks, a quality start. And May 15th at Boston, 5 innings, got the win. 4 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 6 Ks. So Bradley, good outings. And he's another pitcher today pitching as well versus the Boston Red Sox, where he had good success in his last outing. So Bradley, he's going to help with the strikeout rate. This Tampa team, I know they got off to a slow start early in the season, but they're starting to turn things around over the last 2 weeks. And I think Bradley could go out there once again with a good outing here today versus the Red Sox. And surprisingly, like I said, out there in 56% of leagues. The next pitcher is Gavin Stone of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Surprising, Gavin Stone's still out there in 52% of fantasy leagues. And most likely the last chance for owners to go out there and get him on the season. 44 innings, 4-1 record, 29 Ks, a 3.27 ERA, a 1.27 whip, and 5 quality starts. But the last 2 weeks here for Stone, 13 innings, 2-0 record, 6 Ks, a 1.38 ERA, a 1.08 whip, and 2 quality starts. He's on one of the best teams, if not the best team in the league here, is Gavin Stone. And he had a lot of struggles last season, no doubt about it, when he came up and down with this Los Angeles Dodgers team. But he's figured things out this season, and he's going 6 or 7 innings. When you have a great offense behind you, it's a little easier to pitch and have more confidence. May 3rd versus Atlanta, 6 innings, no decision. 5 hits, a run, a walk, 5 Ks, a quality start. May 8th versus Miami, 7 innings, got the win. 6 hits, a run, 4 Ks, a quality start. And May 14th at the Giants, 6 innings, got the win. 5 hits, a run, 3 walks, 2 Ks, a quality start. So Stone's gone out there, and he's pitched great, especially the last month of the season. All quality starts. These games, 6-7 innings, he's gone as well. And he's very confident right now. His next outing's tomorrow versus the Arizona Diamondbacks, an offense that's definitely struggled and had World Series hangover. So I think Stone once again goes out there and pitches a good outing. And like I said, very surprising, he's still out there in 52% of fantasy leagues. The next pitcher, Robert Gasser of the Milwaukee Brewers. So yes, he was a former top prospect a few years ago, but injuries and bad production in the minor leagues have held them back. But now with all these injuries in this Brewer rotation, obviously DL Hall, Wade Miley, yes, he got an opportunity, and he's made the most of it so far in 2 ball games that he started. 11 innings on the year, 2-0 record, 6 Ks, and 0.82 ERA, 0.82 whip, and a quality start. So Gasser, he's got good stuff. He's a crafty type of pitcher, and like I said, he was a top prospect for a reason, but injuries and bad performances in the minors held him back. But now he got the opportunity on the big stage, and he's made the most of it. May 10th versus St. Louis, 6 innings, got the win. 2 hits, no runs, 4 Ks, a quality start. May 15th versus the Pirates, 5 innings, got the win. 6 hits, a run, a walk, 2 Ks. So his next outing, May 21st at the Marlins. I know the Marlins, they've been hitting the baseball a little bit, and they've won 4 out of 5 games, but they're still the worst team in the National League. Robert Gasser, like I said, not a lot of film on him, and he's making the most out of his opportunity, where many people didn't think he would be up this season, where he even struggled in AAA for the most part. So right now, he's available in 81% of fantasy leagues, and he has good upside and a spot in this rotation with the injuries over there for the Brewers. He's a pickup this week. The next ad, Alec Marsh of the Kansas City Royals. So Alec Marsh, he's been a solid pitcher this year for the Royals, and available in 81% of fantasy leagues as well, which is pretty surprising to me with Marsh. Marsh has good stuff. He's been a solid starter so far this season. I know he had a little trip on the injured list early in the year, but he's came back and pitched well on the year. 37 innings, 3-1 record, 31 Ks, a 2.43 ERA, a 1.05 whip, and a quality start. So this Royal team, they got some starters this season. Obviously, Seth Lugo signed him in the offseason. He's having a monster year to begin the year, no doubt about it. Michael Wacha, he's been a decent signing up and down. Obviously, Cole Reagans, they got him last season from the Rangers, and he's been the ace of the rotation. And now you got Alec Marsh, so 4 pretty solid pieces in this rotation here for the Kansas City Royals. And I think Alec Marsh, he can help fantasy owners. And like I said, he's not going to get a lot of run support. He pitches in a division where the hitting isn't great. Obviously, the Guardians, Minnesota Twins, Chicago White Sox, so those teams really haven't had powerhouse offenses. And Marsh, so far, he's gone out there and pitched well since his return from the IL. May 10th at the Angels, 5 1/3, 4 hits, a run, 2 walks, 7 Ks. May 15th at the Mariners, 5 innings, got the loss, 5 hits, a run, a walk, 7 Ks. So his next outing tomorrow is well versus the Tigers, where their offense isn't all that great. They've been a hit or miss as well. Offense I didn't mention in this AL Central. And I know you want to see him go a little deeper in games, but Casey's going to give you possibly wins at times. And someone who's a young up-and-coming pitcher right now, available in 81% of fantasy leagues. Next pitcher is Trevor Williams of the Washington Nationals. So Trevor Williams available in 52% of fantasy leagues. I know his last outing was a tough one, no doubt about it, versus the Philadelphia Phillies, but it's been a solid year here for Trevor Williams. I know this national team, they played over their heads a little bit in the early going, but we'll see where they end in the standings this year on the season. 46 innings, 4-0 record, 35 Ks, a 2.10 ERA, 1.10 whip, and 1 quality start. So the thing with Williams, he don't go deep into games. He's been a 5-inning pitcher. We've known that. Former reliever over the last few seasons with the Mets. Then he went to the Nationals last year, and now he's been in this rotation the last 2 seasons. He is Trevor Williams, but he's got good stuff. He's keeping the ball in the ballpark this year, no doubt about it. And it was just a bad outing at a good team at the Phillies in his last outing. So I think he could bounce back. May 7th versus Baltimore, 5 innings, got the win. 2 hits, no runs, 8 Ks. May 14th, the White Sox, 5 innings, no decision. 4 hits, a run, a walk, 2 Ks in that one. And May 19th at the Phillies, 4 1/3 in that ball game. 5 hits, 3 runs, like I mentioned, a walk and 3 Ks. So Trevor Williams, he's been a crafty pitcher this season for the Washington Nationals. He's got good stuff, keeping the ball in the ballpark, where last season The home run ball did him in big time, giving up over 30 home runs. But he's pitching good baseball, and like I said, he's not going to get wins and he's not going to go deep into games. But in terms of ERA and someone who still is pitching good baseball and should be owned, in my opinion, more than 48% of fantasy leagues. He's an ad this week. The next ad, Ryan Weathers, staying in the NL East of the Miami Marlins. So this Marlins team, we know they're the worst team in the National League. They have won 4 out of 5 games. But Ryan Weathers, he's pitched great baseball. And surprising, he's out there in 92% of fantasy leagues. Like I said, he's not going to get many wins. But Ray, I think he can help own his 49 2/3, 2-4 record. 38 Ks, a 3.81 ERA, a 1.17 whip, and 4 quality starts. But the last few weeks, 14 innings, 0-1 record, 7 Ks, 1.93 ERA, 0.64 whip, and 2 quality starts. So right now available in 93% of fantasy leagues. Here's Ryan Weathers. He's an up-and-coming lefty. His father, obviously, David Weathers, former reliever for many seasons in the major leagues in the 2000s. So Weathers, he's gone out there and he's pitched some good gems for this Miami Marlins team. So this Marlins team, they found some starters over the last few seasons. Just injuries have done their rotation in as well. May 3rd at Oakland, 6 innings, got the loss. 5 hits, 3 runs, 5 Ks, a quality start. May 8th at the Dodgers, 6 innings, got the loss. 5 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 3 Ks, a quality start. And May 14th at the Tigers in that one, 8 innings, 3 hits. Tough, no decision, no runs, 4 Ks, a quality start. So 3 quality starts in a row. He's only given up 6 runs in the last 3 games. His next outing is here today as well versus the Brewers. Well, we know this Brewer offense, they're pretty solid offense. You got Christian Yelich. You got, obviously, Willy Adames, Wilson Contreras having a monster season to start the year. A few guys just to name on this roster. And Ryan Weathers, he's a crafty lefty. I know last season with the Padres, he didn't go that deep into games. But so far here with this Marlins team, he's going deep into games. They got confidence in him. And he's just a building on good outings. So now the last 3 outings, he's won 6 innings or more. And we'll see what he does here tonight versus the Brewers. But like I said, he's a solid ad, no doubt about it. Is Weathers this week. The next pitcher, Cole Quantrill of the Colorado Rockies. So Quantrill, a veteran in this league, obviously. He's on one of the worst teams in the league with the Rockies. Available right now, 91% of fantasy leagues here. And he's been good over the last few outings. On the year, 3-3 record, 51 2/3. 36 strikeouts, a 3.66 ERA, a 1.32 whip, and 6 quality starts. Quantrill, he's a crafty pitcher. A lot of ground balls he's going to get. He's not going to strike out a lot of guys, but he had a lot of success in his career with the Guardians. On the last couple weeks here, 12 innings, 2-0 record, 10 Ks, a 1.5 ERA, 1.42 whip, and 2 quality starts. So available, like I said, in 91% of fantasy leagues is Cole Quantrill. He's got decent stuff. I'm not saying it's the greatest of things here for him. Obviously, pitching his home games in Coors Field and on one of the worst teams in the league as well in the Rockies. But the last few games, he's someone to definitely mention and go out there and get in the deeper leagues. May 3rd at the Pirates, 7 2/3, got the win. 3 hits, 9 Ks, a quality start. May 9th versus the Giants, 6 innings, got the win. 5 hits, a run, 3 walks, 5 Ks, a quality start. And May 14th at the Padres, 6 innings, got the win. 6 hits, a run, 3 walks, 5 Ks, a quality starts. His next outing tomorrow at the A's. And I know this 18 they've been here where they got some power in the lineup and they've been playing competitive ball games. But like I said, right now, Quantrill, the last 3 outings, he's turned the season around. And we know he's been a solid starter throughout his career with the Guardians. The change of scenery is what he needed after last year. Wasn't a great year with injuries and stuff. But like I said, he's pitching better over the last few weeks with the Rockies. And with these ads, some of these guys, they help your ball club for a couple weeks and then you drop them and they come back down to earth. Or they're guys that could come out of nowhere and sustain it for the whole season. So right now, we'll see what Quantrill could do. But he's an ad this week, and the final ad is Logan Allen of the Cleveland Guardians. So Logan Allen, it's been an up and down season for him in the early going. 51 1/3, 5-2 record, 43 Ks, a 4.91 ERA, 1.44 whip, and 3 quality starts for the soft toss and lefty. The last couple weeks, 14 1/3, 2-0 record, 12 Ks, a 4.40 ERA, a 1.53 whip, and 2 quality starts. And no doubt about it, Allen was better last season in terms of strikeouts, ERA, and quality starts in the 125 innings he pitched for this Guardian team. But he's a pitcher that could go out there, and I think he can help fantasy owners. I know he hasn't put a lot of back-to-back good outings out there this season, but like I said, he's a guy that can help fantasy owners in a big way, I believe, as Logan Allen as the season goes on. This Guardian team, they play in a pretty decent division where pitchers have an upper hand, I believe, versus the Tigers. Their hitting's hit or miss. Chicago White Sox, worst team in the American League as well. Obviously, Minnesota Twins, they got off to a hot start, but they're coming back down to earth over the last couple of weeks. And the Kansas City Royals. So I think Allen's a decent ad in the last few outings. May 7th versus the Tigers, got bombed 2 1/3, 7 hits, 7 runs, 2 walks, 2 Ks. But May 12th at the White Sox, 6 innings, got the win. 6 hits, no runs, a walk, 3 Ks, a quality start. 18th versus the Twins, 6 innings, got the win in that one. 5 hits, no runs, a walk, 7 Ks, a quality start. So like I said, the weak division and his last 2 outings were versus division rivals here for Logan Allen. And he went out there and pitched 2 gems. So right now, pitching good baseball the last 2 outings, available in 81% of Fantasy League. If a couple of these pitchers on this list can help you for a few weeks, that's what you want, to just keep finding pitchers that can help. And some guys stick the whole year and some players a few weeks and you get rid of them. But right now this week, I think it's a decent waiver wire for these pitchers. So that's a few pitchers I looked at off the wire for week 8 of the fantasy baseball season.